So welcome once again on this training, which is by the name, the Premium Client Post Framework. Remember, what does it say? The Premium Client Post Framework. So this is a framework to write a post which will fetch you premium clients indirectly. Right now, what it is. So this content brings leads and sales. So as I said, this is Premium Client Post Framework. What it is. I have named it as Speak Framework, SPEAK. Now, this is an abbreviated format, the Speak Framework, which will talk about 5 key elements of one particular post. S stands for specific pain, P stands for personal story or proof, E stands for empathy bridge, A stands for actionable insight, and K stands for kinetic close. So remember this framework. Speak framework, easy to remember, easy to grasp. Now I'm going to explain you every element one by one. Let's talk about S. S is the specific pain. And this is the opening line of your post, which we call headline or title, right? It names the exact specific unspoken pain your ideal premium client is feeling right now. Remember, it should not be generic. It has to be something which embarrasses your audience. It should not be goody-goody. And it is something which they have not said it loud, but it is going in their minds. Remember, I always say, talk about something which resonates with the story running in the client's mind. So this is that kind of a pain. Like I've given you example, you should not be writing like coaches struggling with getting clients. This is very broad, very generic. Instead, if you say you have been posting on LinkedIn for 6 months, you get decent engagements, coaches like your content, and you have not had a single premium client DM asking you to work together. So you are starting to wonder if the problem is you. Remember? So there is a difference between, saying coaches struggling with not getting clients and saying that you have been posting, you are getting engagements, but you have not getting any DM asking to work together. That is what people are going, right? So that could be the specificity. That is the real pain. And this is the line that makes someone stop scrolling and they'll go word by word, which we are going to write, right? That is called the specific pain. Point number 1. Clear? So here it is the starting. You have to start from a specific pain of your audience, which is going in their minds. Clear? Now let's go to the second point, which is P. Personal story of the proof or proof. Now, the second element, immediately after the pain, it has to be followed by an evidence, right? And what is that evidence? Evidence is that you understand their pain from inside. It should not be superficial talk, right? So enter a personal story, right? Like a time you experience that exact situation yourself. Or you can put a proof like you're one of the specific clients might have gone through similar things. So the reader will resonate with the same thing. Either it has been with you or maybe you have done with one of your clients. So your reader is looking forward to see whether you have solved a similar problem for yourself or for your one of your audience. Clear? So that is what I call your personal story or the proof. So this element builds trust before you teach anything. And it stays because the client feels that you have been there at one point of a time. You have obviously come out of the problem because you knew the solution or you know how to come out of it. Right? So this is not theory. This is like, I understand your territory and you are there where I was once upon a time, so I can help you come out of there. Clear? So that is your personal story or proof. Now let's come to E, which is empathy bridge. So what does empathy bridge do? If you don't connect with these two things, which I told you, the pain and the proof, people will not listen to you. Why would somebody listen to you? Correct? So to make them listen, those 2 points are important. Now, when they have already understood the 2 points, here comes a solution which will be giving them by validating the experience. So before you are gonna give them some solution, insights, advices, validate the experience. Tell them why they feel this way and why it is not their fault. Like, let me tell you, if I tell you, I'll give you an example. Here, I told you that I'm gonna give you certain story. And what I said that I said that you are posting on LinkedIn for 6 months, but nobody has come to you asking to work you for together, right? So that's an exact pain. Now, since I have already said that this was me at one point of a time, or maybe one of my clients who was doing the same, but somehow later on they started doing this particular change and they started getting clients. Now, once they have validated the experience, now they feel that it's not their fault, something they might not have been doing. So, removing the self blame and replacing with understanding is what called the empathy bridge. You're getting my point? Because nobody wants to harm themselves. Would somebody like to harm themselves? No. Everybody is here to grow their business. So you have to make them understood with this empathy that it's not their fault. It's something which they might not have done or they might be doing wrong. So the problem is not with them as a person, but with the system or maybe the actions which they are taking. That is what is called the empathy bridge. And the reason this is happening, not because they are bad as an individual or they are bad at marketing. It is because they might have got some wrong advices or something like that. Fair? Now, this empathy bridge, what does this do? The moment of being completely seen and understood. When you say this, I was there, I did this similar kind of a mistake, or one of my clients have done similar things. So when this particular moment is being completely seen and heard, the casual reader, because your post are being read by maybe some casual reader, they actually connects before you have said a single actionable thing. They have already connected with you because you have made a connection without telling them that you have made a connection, right? So that is why it is important. Now let's go to the fourth point, which is actionable insight. Now you have to give the insights. One, you have completed the empathy bridge. So you have to give one valuable idea. It should not be a teaser. It should not be a cliffhanger. The real thing which you might be teaching in your paid programs. That's okay. But here you don't have to withhold any value. Do the best thing which you can do, because premium clients do not respond to coaches who are stopping themselves or withholding some kind of a value. They're responding to coaches who are giving everything for free. Let's say, take it that way. And it should be extraordinary, top notch. They should be feeling that warmth and the quality in your one particular post, which is a normal post for you, but for them it should be something like a very big thing, right? Give the best insight which you have on the topic. The one that would be, people normally teach it in a workshop, but here you have to give it for free. Clear? So that is what I mean by actionable. And the fifth one is kinetic close. This is a final element, which is a closing line that creates movement. Remember, again, I'm telling you something different. The kinetic close should not be like book a call here or DM me for more, something like that. The kinetic close should be something like opening a question, opening a conversation, a question or a statement that is opening your door for talking something that gives the reader a reason to stop scrolling, put down their phone and think what this person has asked. Now, an example of the same thing. I'm asking a question. What would change in your coaching business if every post you wrote started a premium client conversation instead of just collecting likes? Now, if this question is there as a CTA, would the person think a little? That is what you have to create. So the question at the end of the post that has just given genuine value, it will linger. And it does not demand action. It invites reflection. It invites a thought. It invites a conversation. So it works more than any call to action will do. That's it. So now I have given some examples like, this is one post which I created based on the same framework when I realized that I was undercharging. Again, there is a specific pain, the personal story, the empathy bridge, the actionable insight, and the kinetic close. I'll share this document as well with you. And I have again created another topic with the same formula, same framework. Why more content does not mean more clients. Again, pain, personal story, empathy bridge, actionable insight, and kinetic close. Now, this is manual thing which you can do. I have also created a prompt here. if you use this prompt, you'll be creating this faster. But as I always say, never copy paste the output. You have to just do the drafting from the AI outputs. I always say that should be the first draft, and then put your own voice, tone, language, or whatever you want. But this is what it is. So I'll be sharing this particular prompt as well, which will make your post faster, right? But remember, it has to have, because this prompt also has instruction to follow the same thing. I want to write a LinkedIn post using the Speak framework, right? So it will use the Speak framework. And here you have to mention the topic, like, I'll just highlight this. What you have to mention here, this is your name. I'm this in this niche, right? And specific on the topic, this is where you have to put your topic. I'm just highlighting what all things you have to do, and describe the exact unsaid pain. And you have to describe your story or your client for the empathy bridge, as I told you. That's it. So these are the 5-6 elements. 1, 2, no, here is 2 more. Your specific audience and the specific outcome. So these are a few of the elements which you have to edit in this particular prompt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 elements which you have to mention in this particular prompt, and it will give you a beautiful post. Again, don't just copy paste. Take it as a draft and do certain changes and do this. So remember, this particular type of a post will create more conversations and more DMs, so that you start talking to a person on LinkedIn or any other platform. And when you start conversating, you start building a relationship. That's it. So use this framework so that you get more and more DMs and you start converting people, right?